Welcome to another edition of Who's That DJ? I'm JSG and I'm going around the country talking to different DJs about their journey, etc. Right. So today we've got another guest on the show. She's going to be telling us about her journey and how she's managed to get where she's gotten to and all that good stuff. So I'd like to introduce KayleeKay. What's happening, Kay?
Hello. I'm good. Happy to be here.
Good, good. Thank you for turning up. Right. So how we normally start our shows is we get the DJ to introduce themselves, talk about their origins of when they started, and just talk us through your DJ journey.
Right, so I'm DJKayleeKay, as you said.
Mhm.
I started DJing probably about 7.5, borderline 8 years ago.
Okay.
I started DJing because, I've been around music since a very young age. My dad's got a massive reggae and dub and lovers rock collection on vinyl. So I've always been around music, and I love bassy music with a thick bass line. I love that.
Yeah.
And then growing up, I just used to like going out all the time, and a lot of my friends used to hold house parties, and I used to see them mixing and think, oh, I really want to do that.
Yeah.
So went to university, begrudgingly, and studied. Mum's like, you're going.
Yeah.
And I studied radio production.
Okay.
Because that was anything I was interested in at the time.
Mm.
And like I looked up to, Jenny Francis and Choice, like that was the era, and I really wanted to be on radio. I wanted to be a radio presenter, so I thought that's the only thing that interests me, so I'm going to study it. So went to Westminster University, which is a really, really good university for what I studied. Had amazing equipment and studios and stuff, and good links to the BBC. So after I graduated, I noticed that a lot of radio presenters did DJing as well.
Okay.
But I had an interest in DJing before that, but it strengthened after I graduated. So I got one of my friends to teach me how to mix, and kind of the rest is history. But in between that, I did some casual freelance work at the BBC. So BBC Radio 1, One Extra, Asian Network, Talk Sport randomly, because I'm not really into sports like that. And I worked on a football show as well, which is ironic because everyone who knows me knows I can't stand football.
Yeah.
So, but it was good experience. And then after that, I got my first decks shortly after uni. They were like Newmark Axis 9s. They were like a cheaper version of Pioneers, at the time I could afford them. And my dad bought me a laptop. He bought me my Apple Mac, which I still have now, which is still going strong. And got Serato. Before that, I was using CDs to mix.
Yeah.
But I found for what I wanted to do at the time, open format, Serato was the best thing, because you can have loads of crates and stuff, and it can sync to your iTunes. So you've got reams of music, reams of genres. Yeah. Whereas obviously CDs is quite limited, and well, it depends if you want to carry the kitchen sink with you. I didn't really want to do that. Yeah. So then I kind of got into club DJing probably about a year after I probably started taking DJing seriously. Okay. I did loads of things really. Like I've done what's it called, Dirty Martini, which was interesting because it wasn't really kind of what I wanted to do genre wise. It was open format, so it was literally playing everything from 80s to like Biggie Smalls. Like it was just broad. Yeah. To Taylor Swift, which was heart wrenching for me because I can't stand her. Yeah. No offense, Taylor, but it's not what I wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? But it was good for the experience because they were really long sets, so that gave me like the stamina, so I can do long sets now. Okay. I've DJed in Topshop and other shops like Misguided, JD Sports, Accessorize, New Look, done quite a bit. And then I've DJed for Eskimo Dance, which is great because I love grime, and that's where I'm veering off to now. So present day, I'm trying to be a bit more niche, and I want to be known as more KayleeKay, or she's like grime DJ as opposed to KayleeKay. Okay. The DJ. Right. Okay. So I want to be like the female Spyro or Logan, which there are girls that are out there. There's not as many as I would like. That's where I come to fill in the gap. Okay. Yeah. And I think I hope I've explained my journey a little bit.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. It's pretty much full on. So just going backwards just in your journey, obviously you mentioned being able to DJ in like Topshop, Misguided, and those sorts of places. How did you go about that? Was that through an agency, or was it you approaching them directly, or?
So it's through an agency, but it's a really funny story because I used to work at Max. I used to be a makeup artist. Okay. And I served this girl, And we were talking. I was like, "Oh, how can I help you?" She's telling me that she travels a lot for her job. I said, "Oh, what do you do?" She said, "I'm a DJ." I was like, "Oh my god, I DJ too." So we started talking. Name's Hayley Roma. Big up Hayley. And we realised that we knew a lot of the same people. So then she's like, "Oh, you know, if you need any help with anything, let me know." And I was like, "Okay, cool. We'll meet up and I'll like help you." Blah blah. And she was really true to her word, which was nice. She's a really genuinely nice person. And we met up. We were talking about DJing, etc. And she's like, "Oh, I'll get you into Topshop," because she was doing it.
Okay.
So yeah, from then, she's true to her word. She hooked me up with Topshop. But before that, I had to do hours and hours and shifts in Dirty Martini, almost like a rite of passage before you step foot into Topshop. But yeah, after that, got in, and then from there I got I DJed at Benefit as well, actually, which is the same agency. And then I remember after a shift at Topshop, I was walking down Oxford Street, and then I went into JD Sports. I heard some banging music. I was like, "What's this?" Walked in, and there was another DJ there. So then I spoke to him, and I said, "Oh, I've just finished at Topshop. I really like DJing in shops. However, I kind of like what you're playing in here because I know I can't play that there.
Right. Okay.
So if you've got anything going, let me know." I gave him my business card. Didn't hear anything from him for about, I swear it was a good year. So I was like, "Okay, he's forgotten about me, cool." And then out of the blue on Facebook, got a message, "Would you like to DJ at Misguided?" I was like, yeah. And then from there I got that. So.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right. Fair enough. That's a good, interesting story.
It's just being at the right place at the right time, I guess, for that
course.
one. Because if I hadn't met Hayley, I probably would have tried to get in there somehow, but it wouldn't have been as straightforward. Maybe we could say. I don't know if you call it straightforward, but
I think the main point that I see a lot with a lot of the DJs I've spoken to already is about networking. Like
definitely
works 100%.
However, you're absolutely right, and I would agree with them. However, I find I would say probably 80% of my bookings are not from me approaching people. It's from people approaching me. And I find that when I do approach people, it backfires. It just doesn't work. There's been like a few like people, brands, whatever that I've approached, and be like, "Yeah, I'll get back to you," and then nothing. Whereas when people approach me, it happens. But I wouldn't discourage networking at all. But I don't really feel like if that's not your personality, sometimes it doesn't really work for everyone.
No, that's very true. I think it's just, I think one of the interviews I've done, the guy was basically saying it's about, obviously you've got to, as well as being able to network, you still have to be able to focus on your craft to be like
100%.
Because at the end of the day, when you are confident in yourself, then other people will start to notice you as well.
Definitely.
Cool.
And I think social media has a massive part to play on it as well. I think when people see that you're doing bits and you're moving, they're more likely to approach you as well. So yeah,
cool. All right, well, cool. We will talk about social media a bit later on anyway. All right, cool. So now, obviously, you've been DJing for, let's say, almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years. Yeah.
Almost 10 years.
Not quite. I still got 2, but yeah, almost.
Okay. That's cool. Right. So you recently just come off a batch of festivals.
Yeah.
How was it, first of all?
Oh, wicked experience. They were all very quite different. I did Transmission first. That was wicked because I was with the Esky family. And I played after Rude Kid and before President T came on, so I had a nice little audience to play to. Did like an old school Channel US set, and that went down really well. It was really fun. Then I did Wireless Festival with Girls of Grime, which was a good experience as well. Very different to Transmission. And it was a good look, and I had a good time. And then recently, just Saturday gone, I just did Latitude Festival. Which is a proper festival, so there's tents and everything. I was not camping. I wasn't planning to camp. I went there for the day. And that was amazing as well. Really, really good.
Nice. That's good. So how did the festival thing come about? Was it again just a case of people reaching out to you, or just?
I've been doing a lot of work with Eskimo dance for a while anyway, so I'm kind of like part of the fam. So when they went into the festival, naturally I followed. With Wireless, that was through Girls of Grime. Girls of Grime, Shakira, big up Shakira, she approached me by Instagram. She's seen what I do, and I follow her page as well. And she asked me if I wanted to DJ at their event, and I was like, hell yeah. And so it kind of spun from then. So I'm kind of like I work closely with that brand as well.
Yeah.
So that's how we got into wireless.
Mm-hmm.
And it was through Rinse as well. Need
Okay,
to
Rinse,
actually, point that out, that Rinse were working with Smirnoff, the drink
Mm-hmm.
brand, for an initiative called Equalizer Music, which is about bringing more females into festivals and into the festival circuit, which I think is really important.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you saw the wireless lineup, out of 35, there were like 3 women, which is pathetic.
Yeah.
It's actually pathetic because there's so many of us out there.
Mm.
So that was really, really good. And then Latitude was via High Rise Theatre, because I'm currently in a play as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called gig theatre, so it's
Mhm.
like combination of music and dance with
Mhm.
theatre. So it's kind of like a rave with dialogue and a storyline through it, which is pretty awesome.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how
That's
I got
pretty
those.
cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Something different.
Yeah, definitely, it's
Something
really
different.
fun.
Okay, cool. Switching gears a little bit.
hmm
We're going to talk about. I wanted to ask what your views are on the DJ space at the moment. What do you think? Almost like the good things and the things that you say need improvement. So not necessarily, I would say bad, but things that you can see out there that you see definitely need improvement from your perspective.
The good things are that I think every genre of music, whatever you're into, is capable, because there's always going to be that one DJ that does it, which is great. It's just about finding them. I think the fact that DJs practice and perfect their craft via like mixed CDs is really good, because it keeps you entertained in your car. You can look onto SoundCloud, Mixcloud, whatever, and listen to them. I love the fact that there are more females coming up. It's still sometimes a foreign entity with some people. I still get people staring at me sometimes. I just think, what are you staring at? What's the problem?
Yeah.
The negative, I would say, is I think technology is kind of ruining the craft a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. As much as I use Serato, and I sometimes look at myself and think, with like controllers and virtual DJ and software and programs, it just kind of means that anyone can DJ, and it's like, I don't feel like you've kind of put the blood, sweat, and tears that some people, especially the vinyl DJs, have put in to the craft to perfect it. You've just basically downloaded the software and you're pressing sync and then calling yourself a DJ. I just don't think that's right, personally.
No.
People might disagree with me, but yeah, I just think vinyl DJs are more authentic. And if you know how to do vinyl, I think you're a DJ, like you're a proper DJ.
It's a good DJ.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, technology is going to move on, and there's no harm in moving on with the technology. But I think some DJs who use controllers and other things shouldn't be so cocky, I think, personally. But that's just me.
No, that's a valid point. Again, that's a thing that a lot of people have noticed. But again, with that, it's kind of how you use the technology. In terms of the long term and the more established DJs can use the same controller that the start DJs got, but you can definitely hear a difference, and they're more creative with what they've got as well.
Definitely.
And I think again, it's more of the talent will always stay at the top, especially the people that put in their craft in. The people that are just kind of like the weekend DJs, they'll be there, but after a while they'll get exposed for what they are. So
true.
Cool. All right. So what was I thinking? Okay. So in terms, obviously, we spoke about the DJing things. What do you think for you, specifically, has helped you get where you managed to achieve? Because in 8 years, you managed to achieve quite a lot.
See, I don't think like that.
You don't think that?
People say to me, like, you're doing really well, but I always think, because you've got like, your goal is here, and you feel like you're here, and you've still got to get to that goal. So that's how I feel. But then when I reflect and look back and sometimes look at my Instagram, so I'm like, wow, I did that, and I DJ'd with that person, or I was at that rave, like, wow, like I have done bits, but there's still so much work to be done as far as I'm concerned. But in terms of getting to where I did, is that the question? Sorry, I'm rambling.
Yeah.
I feel like I got a lot of support from a lot of people, which is good, and I feel like I wouldn't be where I am without certain people. So I definitely have to be grateful for that, but also just like taking it seriously and putting in the work, and having a genuine passion for it, and not doing it because it's fashionable or I want to be seen out on the weekends doing this and that and the other and pictures for Instagram. No, I do it because I love the music and I want to entertain people, and I want them to hear the passion and the music, the love for the music I have, and I want that to transcend to them as well.
Yeah.
And I think like you said, people that aren't really genuine get exposed eventually, and they get bored, like they just fall
of
off.
course.
And people have said to me, "Oh, I'm so proud that you kept going." I'm like, why would I stop
Stop.
though?
Yeah,
Like
of
this is
course.
what I want to do. Like I
Yeah.
love it. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think that's for me. Just people around me, having a good network, people that support me in whatever, that's friends and like associates,
Hmm.
people that hook me up with gigs or introduce me to certain people.
Yeah.
And then just within myself, just knowing that that's what I want to do and just not stopping. Sometimes I feel discouraged sometimes, but
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it's
that's
normal,
normal,
isn't it?
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even yesterday I had a moment, but like I know this is what I want to do and just need to keep going. The only way's up.
All right, cool. So as well as that, I suppose, well, not suppose, in moving forward, for yourself, I suppose, what is your next ambition? What's your next goal to achieve?
With my DJing career, I've set like little bucket lists of what I want to achieve and what I want to do within it, and things like certain venues I'd like to play at, and I've done some of them, like Ministry of Sound, always want to play at, which I did. Fabric is on the list, and when they shut down, I was gutted, and now they've opened again. I'm like, yeah, need to get in there.
Yeah.
Just going back on radio because I quit radio a couple of years ago now.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd like to go back on radio, have my own station, my own show again.
Yeah.
And also I'd like to DJ for an artist. I always want to do that.
Okay.
I DJ for somebody at the moment. Big up Dirty Skank. But yeah, I'd like to maybe do DJ for somebody else as well.
Okay. Well, you know, the world's your oyster, but I think especially with the grime scene at the moment, yeah, as you said, I don't see a lot of female DJs. There are obviously people you mentioned earlier on, obviously Spyro and Logan are obviously like prominent names that most people will see. But then there are a few up and coming, so I'd like to see more of that. Okay, so switching gears slightly again. Obviously we spoke about the social media earlier on. So what role do you think that social media can play or plays in a DJ's career if used effectively?
I think it plays a massive part, which kind of annoys me to a certain degree, actually, if I'm honest.
Okay.
The positive factor is that I post a flyer of where I am so people can come and see me and support and see what I'm about, or post a picture of me at a place, and it kind of proves that I was there for a start.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that even if people don't like, they still watch.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have people go up to me and say, "Oh, you did this, that, and the other." I'm thinking, yeah, but you didn't like it. You didn't like the picture. So it's like, oh, okay, so you're watching me, but you're not showing me that you're watching me, which has its benefits anyway.
Yeah.
I think the negative for me as a female is that like I'll post a picture of me in like a little dress with low cleavage and short, and I'll get so many likes.
Right.
And I'll post a picture of me behind the decks and get half of that. And I'm like, are you people serious? Like, I'm showing you what I can do, what I offer, and what I can bring to the table, and that I'm good for something.
Yeah.
But yet that doesn't really get half as much love as me just standing there doing nothing, just looking sexy. That's annoying.
Yeah, it's the first trap.
Yeah. But I also feel like sometimes social media can be deceptive as well. I think sometimes people look at other people and think, oh, they're doing stuff, when in reality they're not, and I don't like that side as well. I personally feel like I post truths, but some people don't.
Yeah, no, of course. You think that, have you come across the issue of, you know, like people who, just because your follow count is not like amazing, that people aren't as willing to talk to you, or
100%.
yeah,
They won't give you the time of day until your following count is up, or you know this person, that person. That's when people will give you the time of day, and I don't like that. That's when I won't give you the time of day. Like, I don't have time for that. Like, it has to be organic and genuine. Don't start talking to me or following me because you think I'm going places. Like, where was that energy when I was just me? I don't like that. I just think it's fake.
Fair enough. All right. So another aspect I wanted to touch on, the club scene at the moment. Obviously, for most people, they're aware of that. A lot of clubs and stuff aren't. So obviously, you mentioned Fabric, where it closed down for a little while and has only recently just opened. but the thing of a lot of clubs are closing down and not getting their license renewed or not getting their licensing back. So it's kind of like a lot of places are now turned into wine bars and stuff like that. So do you think that's affected you in terms of what you want to do events wise, or you think there are good, or I suppose other avenues to explore apart from club scene?
I think the club scene right now is pretty peak in terms of venues. Like you said, they're shutting down left, right, and centre, and if they are open, they're not getting late licenses, and they're finishing at 1, 2, and that's not good for people. Like, some people like to roll out at 12, so that's like 1 hour or 2 of raving. That's nothing. I don't feel like it's affected me that much personally, to be honest. But I have seen it affect others. Especially some of my friends who are promoters as well. So they want to hold an event and they can't find the venue, and that's a challenge. Without venue, you can't really hold anything. So a lot of people are moving to like day parties now, which will be great for the summer, but who wants to be outside in the winter? So
of course.
you know, like I think everything has its time and has its course. So hopefully, winter time we'll find some venues. But in terms of, sorry, what's the question?
No,
like run on and on and on. Like I forget the question.
No, I was just saying in terms of like the club scene at the moment. So with the declining in clubs, has it affected you, and what other avenues do you think?
So yeah, not really affected me, and obviously I've done a lot of retail DJing as well. So that's good. And sometimes I feel with retail DJing, it's me for like 6 hours or maybe plus, and I can pay whatever I want, and you can see the staff love it, the customers love it, and that energy I get is actually quite nice. Sometimes it's nicer than the club. I've been in clubs where people just stand there staring at me, and I'm just like, are you going to dance? Or like, what's the problem? Whereas sometimes I get more energy and more feedback in the shops. So, but I hope one day, like apparently one of my friends recently came back from Atlanta, and it's kind of the same situation there as well.
Okay.
A lot of their venues are closing down, so it's like a global thing.
Yeah.
So what's next for us? I don't know. Warehouses, underground car parks. I don't know. Like that's what we might have to start doing.
Fair enough. We'll just start having our own festivals.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an interesting thing that's going on out there. Okay, so I suppose before we move on to the next, or coming up to the next session, is there a particular area of DJing that you want to talk about, or have any questions for me, or any advice you want to give new DJs coming up?
Advice to start with. I think is just to stay hungry. Sometimes when you get complacent is when you can fall off, and things as quickly as you go up, you can come down. Trust me. Like I've had times where I've just had nothing for months. I've been like, whoa, like what's going on? And there's other times where I'm busy every weekend. So it's definitely swings and roundabouts. So with that being said, don't give up. Also, as we discussed earlier, networking is advantageous, and do it, but just do it how you feel comfortable doing it. If that makes sense. Just don't pick it. Let things happen organically. I believe in that, and it will happen. So yeah, don't feel discouraged. It will happen. In terms of your career, you've been DJing for a very long time. What genre of music do you do, first of all? I don't even know.
So I'm mainly open format. Even my radio show at the moment is open format as well, but it's open format to a degree where I don't just mix, like I do hip hop set and an R&B set or a house set. I'll mix like a hip hop track into a house track into.
See, I love that. That's so creative. I love that. When I first started DJing, I used to do that. I used to experiment all the time. But now that I've moved more into the grime arena, I don't really have to do that so much anymore. I don't feel, only because a lot of the music's the same BPM. But having said that, common misconception about grime, I feel, is that even at the same BPM it mixes really easy, and that's not the case at all. Because the instrumentation and stuff and the keys, it can sound like pots and pans even when it's matching. So
no, of course. I think with grime specifically, I've been following like OGs, like essentials back in from when I don't even know how, from when I was like 10, 11, 12. So I've been following them from there. So with that, I've always kind of had an ear for grime, and seen like all this evolution throughout the years and how it's transitioned across. Do you touch much dubstep at all, or you specifically just keep it grime?
More grimy, bassy, and funky housey.
Okay.
I like dubstep, but I don't really play it, to be honest. It's a bit too mellow for me. I like music, whereas dubstep can be a bit more chilled.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Fair enough. All right. So I'm gonna play a slight game with you before we get on to the last couple of questions. One thing I do with all the DJs is I create 3 scenarios in my head.
Okay.
And then I get you to pick a track for each scenario.
Okay, that sounds fun.
So it's just going to be just off the cuff.
Okay.
Just like on both our sides. Okay, so what is your scenario? Is you just finished your play. Or you just finished a hard day. It doesn't even have to be specifically your play. You just finished a hard day, and you are traveling back to the crib. So what's normally like one of the tracks you'll be listening to? You do that all out. What's the first track you'd normally want to play?
Do you know what's really funny? Like when I finish a gig, because I've been like around thumping music for like how many hours. Sometimes I just get in the car and put Magic or Heart on.
Yeah.
I just need to like some mellow sort of stuff, like some Whitney or like Marvin Gaye, just nice soulful music. I can't really think of a specific track.
Yeah.
But yeah, something along those lines, just mellow.
Okay.
R&B, but old stuff.
Okay.
Like even Eurythmics, anything like that. I just like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Which I bet you'd be like, really? But yeah.
That's right. We all do that. I'm definitely the same when I finish the set. I'm just want to listen to something to ease out.
Yeah, just to unwind, right? Yeah.
All right. Cool. So, track 2. I mean, scenario 2. Just eating a great plate of food.
Yeah.
Great plate of food. What's the tune that's playing in your head while you're having that great plate of food?
Oh my gosh. Great plate of food.
It describes your feelings, your emotions around food as well.
That's a good question. I don't know, that's a hard one. Great plate of food. Because I love my food as well. Like, really love it. It's my only pleasure in life, apart from DJing. What song would I play? Maybe something grimy, because I love grime. Let's go with. Gosh, there's so many like grime tunes going through my head right now. I can't even pick one. Let's go with Crazy Titch Sing Along.
Okay, that's not bad, sure.
Because it's just energetic and it's like, yeah, I've just had some food, I'm great.
Yeah. I haven't heard that one in a while, so I might have to pull that out on the way home.
That's a tune. Yeah. It's one of my favourites. Oldie but a goodie.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so last song, or last scenario even. Let's say Saturday, you've got a gig. You're the midnight till 2 set, and the club closes at 4. What's the first track you play?
What club is it?
So obviously it's going to be.
Is it grime
It's
club?
going to be a grime club.
What are we going to start with? Maybe Dizzy. I Love You. It's probably going to be an old school set because I love old school grime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you start off.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that what normally you would, or you, is your ideal like to play type of thing?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool.
Or instrumentals, obviously, and then just MC the shell over it. I like that as
well. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but when you're playing, I suppose, do you host or you just have an MC to?
It'd usually be like a vocal set, or they'll have a host.
Okay.
But generally, yeah, vocals. Unless it's a set where there's going to be MCs and then it's obviously instrumentals.
Okay, cool. Actually, I do have one more question before I get on to the last one. In terms of getting grime specifically, how do you go about that?
Getting grime music?
Yeah.
It was a lot easier when I was on radio because obviously artists want to get their tunes heard, so either they'd inbox me or I'd inbox them, and having that weight of I'm on radio was very helpful. But now, well, actually, because it's going to sound really like facetious, but because of who I am, they're more likely to send me the tunes now. But when I was up and coming, it was more off the back of I'm on radio and I'd really like to play your tune. Yeah. So I'd tweet them or inbox them or email them to get the music. And also there's a few radio pluggers that will plug tunes like Iron, who's I think needed to, I forgot what the name of his is, or Salter Streets as well. Yeah. They have certain tunes that I'm part of their mailing list, so yeah.
Okay. So you mainly reach out to those guys and then just get them to...
Or I buy music. I'm not adverse to buy music. I don't mind supporting the cause. So if I can't get it via the plug or whatever, then I'll go on Juno or Bootcamp or something, Bandcamp, or something like that, and buy it.
Okay, cool. Because I think one of the things for me was never knowing where to get the music from, and I didn't want to be that DJ that always ended up getting the YouTube rip. Sometimes it just sounds so terrible.
It does, and if they talk that you've got bootleg of their tune, they won't be happy.
Exactly. So no, I think it's this things like DJ City and other record pools like that.
But
I mean,
again,
they have some, but it's not
right.
It's exactly.
Not good. I mean, DJ City is really, really good for like open format, but things like grime, even dancehall, it's not great for. R&B and hip hop got it on lock. Even house, but obviously when you get more underground and niche, it's not that great. So I think because grime is seen more of a niche genre still, it's not really catered that much on DJ City. Yeah. We get odd tracks, but I mean, last time I went on there, I don't really see much new stuff. It's more via the radio pluggers that I got the music or from the artist directly.
Okay, cool. That's worth knowing. Definitely worth knowing. All right, cool. So moving into the final few questions now. First one for you is, what do you, in your opinion, think, what qualities do you think make a good DJ?
Qualities, passion, definitely. I love seeing a DJ who's enjoying their set. That's why I love watching Eza. Like he's having a good time, and that feeds off. And even like at Transmission when Logan was DJing, he was dancing away, and I was like, I love that. Like when they're feeling it, you're feeling it. And sometimes you can see a DJ's not feeling it, you're just like, do you know what I mean? I think obviously the skills. I think a DJ that gets my respect is somebody who's amazing at what they do, and again, he's probably one of the best to ever do it. Even somebody like Jazzy Jeff, I'm not really into scratching and stuff, and I don't really need to for grime, but he's amazing at what he does. So yeah, passion, skills, and I think being a people person. You have to be a people person, because when you're not, it can really go against you. And I feel like, and I'm guilty of this, like in clubs sometimes when people come up to you and request stuff, when it's really silly, you still have to humour people and be like, oh, I don't have it, or it's coming, or whatever, and not like say out loud, what the hell? Who the hell do you think I am? I'm not playing that shit. Like in my head, I think that, but yeah, so definitely be a people person, because that can really, like, your reputation can precede you sometimes. So yeah. And lastly, I think having more than one string to your bow, I think. People might say it has no relation, but I still think that as a brand, sometimes it's good to do other things as well. I think it makes you stronger. And a lot of DJs produce, so I think without sometimes their production and paying their own stuff, people wouldn't know them as a DJ. So I think something goes hand in hand, things like that, or radio presenting or whatever. So yeah, I think those are the four. I think I said qualities.
Okay, cool. That's good. Okay. What are you listening to, just in general, like? at this moment in time? What are you listening to?
Obviously grime, but more instrumental stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do a lot of sets now. I'm always trying to find some really hard, nice beats that I can play and mix during a set.
Mm-hmm.
Then on the flip side, I really like I think they call it like future R&B. I don't know if it's so much future, but just like the new R&B that's coming up, like Caesar. I love at the moment. I love DJKayleeKay. I'm obsessed with him right now.
Yeah.
Who else am I listening to? LMA, it's great. So yeah, it's really weird, like on the end of the spectrum, but yeah, I'm listening to a lot of that stuff right now.
Okay, cool. All right, and then the last question I have for you is, where can people follow you, see what you're up to, get in touch with you?
So my Instagram is probably the best place, and that is DJKayleeKay, all one word, so DJKayleeKay. And my Twitter handle is the same, and you can go on my Facebook, but it's not really popping. And that's Kaylee, DJKayleeKay Edwards. And yeah, my Mixcloud as well. If you just search DJKayleeKay or put me into Google and my Mixcloud comes up, you can hear my mixes and my latest radio sets as well.
Cool. No worries. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you for inviting me down.
No problem. It's been great to obviously get your insight, get your wisdom.
I hope I was helpful.
You have been, no worries. So yeah, man. Until next time. Until next time, keep your eyes locked. Make sure you guys on YouTube subscribe. Obviously, I'll leave all your contact details in the description underneath the video.
Thank you.
On the iTunes, it will be the same. All the information will be in the description, and same for Anchor as well. So until next time, peace and toast. I'm JSG. She's KayleeKay.